The first game as Premier League champions for Liverpool ended in a 3-1 defeat at Chelsea. He made 6 changes. Let's see what he thought about it. Here is Arne Slot.
Well, Arne, in terms of the big picture, I guess it doesn't matter, but no one likes to lose, especially champion teams don't like to lose. So what did you make of that?
No, a wise man once said nothing good comes from losing a football game, and I have to agree with him. But the way we lost is more positive, I think. I saw a team that was playing against a very good Chelsea team, a very good squad, so many individually, so many good players, so well organised. But we were able to have here at Stamford Bridge 65% ball possession, played so many times through them. But yeah, maybe we missed just that little bit, which we usually have. So normally we're also able to find the free player, but the last percentages in attack and defence we maybe missed today to get a result.
So what cost you that few percent? Is that even with the players out there meaning to give their all, trying to give their all, there's just a difference between wanting to win and needing to win, and today you didn't need to win?
Yeah, that is true. But if you look at how we reacted after being 2-0 down, that probably tells you why we won this league. Because they never give up, even if they've already won the league and they're 2-0 down at Stamford Bridge against such a good team. We don't give up. Our fans don't give up as well.
They look like they thoroughly enjoyed their day, to be honest.
Yeah, they were loud again. So, we slipped twice in the lead up to both Chelsea goals. And of course, the third one was so far an extra time that, it's a goal, but it didn't matter that much anymore. But playing against a good team like Chelsea, you can't afford a lot, and that's what we saw today.
With one eye on the future, giving game time to players who haven't had so much game time, what did you learn today?
I think a few things I've already knew, but it's always good to see some of them playing now together with 4, 5 or 6 starters. So a few of them have come in many times, but to start, most of them started against Plymouth away, PSV Eindhoven away, and now to see them playing with the other ones gives you not new insights, but does give you insights.
Is it overstating it? Maybe you think this is over the top, but some of those guys who come into the team, are they playing for their Liverpool futures a bit? They obviously want more minutes next season, and they only have these few games to convince you they deserve those minutes.
No, that last thing, that's where it's about. They deserve to play these games because they've trained so hard during the whole season, so many times a day after the match where the other ones played, and everyone was so positive about them, and they had to come to the AXA again to train, and every time they did so well. So that's why I think that they deserved to play this game. But it's not the first time that I saw them play. They've come in many times. They've played the Plymouth and the PSV and some other games as well. Accrington Stanley, and can't come up Brighton away for the League Cup. So we don't judge them only on this. We judge them every single day on the training ground and the moments they play for us.
It seems a bit odd almost to say this to a team that's just won the league, but does it feel like there's a big summer ahead in terms of adding to this squad, changing the squad? I did an interview with you on Friday where you were talking about you already spoke to maybe a few players trying to sell them the Liverpool dream.
No, it's already a big summer because we extended Virgil and Mo, and for large parts of the season I don't think everybody expected that. So for us to keep them is already a big thing, and we will see what the summer will bring. But I've said many times I'm really happy with the squad we are having. But it is also true that's the second year in a row these players are together, and sometimes can be good to bring some fresh energy as well. But last year we decided just to keep them all. So we will just see what we will do. But it's already been a big summer because we won the league and we kept Virgil and Mo.
And nothing better, I guess, than adding to a winning team. Kind of strike while the iron's hot, I think is the phrase.
Yeah, but only if we see a chance in the market, or if we can see someone who can improve us. And it's not so easy to improve this team because it's already a team that won the Premier League, that was so good against Paris Saint-Germain at home, where unfortunately we lost that on penalties.
Thank you, Arne.
You're welcome.
That's interesting because we were having a little chat over a cup of tea earlier on about this, weren't we?
Told you.
What?
What he said. It's hard. These people have got this idea that, oh yeah, go and get 4 players and spend a fortune and like, go on, where? Right back, you probably don't have to. You know, a young kid that you've brought through for a long period of time, if Trent goes, that is. Left back, I think Liverpool are going to invest. So Kirk, as everybody's talking about at Bournemouth. So yeah, there's 50, 60 million that Liverpool are going to invest. They might go and get a central defender, but it's not going to be 50, 100 million to spend on it. No way are they going to spend 50, 100 million to sit behind Virgil van Dijk on the bench all season. So that's only cover. You can get a free transfer. Everyone wants to come to Liverpool. So straight away, you only have to spend big money on your left back. You might want cover at right back if Trent goes. But again, you don't need to spend massive money. I think Conor Bradley deserves a chance, so you're not going to be spending big there. If Darwin Núñez leaves, maybe Jota. You could argue that they'll get an attacking player to replace Darwin Núñez. So you might have to spend decent money there. But that's two positions, left back and centre forward. And then all you need is cover at right back. They've already brought a goalkeeper in. And Kelleher is probably going to leave. So there's another 30, 40 million that they're going to be bringing in. So what I'm saying is that everybody that think, oh yeah, go and change 5, 6 players and strike while the iron's hot, go and buy loads of players. It just doesn't happen. Like, nobody will come to... No top player that's worth 100 million is going to come to sit on the bench. And nobody's better than Virgil van Dijk and Canate, really. So they're not going to buy a centre-half that's worth a fortune.
Ben's not having that.
Unless Canate doesn't sign, he's got a year left, but they will know that.
Would you, and he's fit now, and I hope he doesn't go because he's at my club, Van der Ven.
If you could, yeah.
Yeah. So if it was going to pay for him, you'd have to pay money for him. But him and them, those two Dutch together. Now, I don't want that to happen.
Arnold sells his own centre-back shocker.
But I'm just giving an example that there's players in there that could still go in above the players that are there at the moment. You're going to have to spend money.
But Van der Ven won't go in ahead of
Canate.
What they've got. He might be good at...
Without his injuries, I think everyone would...
I guess what Michael's saying is the margin of difference. Is he that much better than Canate?
You're not going to spend... He's going to cost 100 million. Yeah. You're not going to spend 100 million to leave a top... what's Van Dijk going to do?
Back a few months ago, everyone was talking about the quadruple for Liverpool. The quadruple. They're going to win 4 trophies. They've ended up winning the Premier League, which is magnificent for them. So, we were talking about that. Now, people there are players out there that I think would still improve that, the best team, add them to that best team at Liverpool, and then they'll go again. Liverpool have won the Premier League now, right? If you're Liverpool Football Club, they've got a really strong squad, without a doubt. Is it something that's going to dictate, like Man City have for the last 5, 6 years? Are they going to go for the next 6 years as dominating English football? That's really where Liverpool should be aiming now. Now that squad isn't good enough to do that. So when you're champions and you're in in the Champions League next year, if they add those massive, it depends on where the club want to go. Do they want to dominate like they did in the 80s and the 90s at times? Well, particularly in the 80s, again, and do what City have done and leave Arsenal behind. Because next year, Arsenal improve, City will probably go and improve, and it's going to be do you think Liverpool will win again?
Well, I think as you mentioned it, they were very close to everyone who's talking. They could win all 4. They got to, the final of the Carabao Cup. They almost played themselves out against Plymouth. They put all the reserves in, but
that was their choice.
It was their choice, but I don't think it's because their squad is weak, or not strong enough, I should say. And they can improve it in 1 or 2 positions, but you're not getting a better centre-half combination, I don't think. You're not getting a better goalkeeper. You're not getting a better right winger. The midfield is very functional. I mean, where can you improve it? And I do think that they'll invest money, but I think the key to it is invest money where you need to. Don't be wasting 100 million on a backup player.
No, I think their owners have shown they wouldn't do that anyway.
They won't pay that.
Of course. And then in the meantime, there will always be somebody that crops up at some point, and you need to keep your powder dry as well for that scenario. I mean, they might not need an amazing centre-forward or an amazing centre-half in time, but if one crops up, if Virgil van Dijk of 8 years ago crops up again, even if you don't need him, you might just think, right, we need this guy, he is so good. So you've got to bear that in mind as well. But for the immediate here and now, I only think 2 positions. They will spend on 2 positions. They might recruit 1 or 2 others, but only as backup, because they don't need to waste money on, 30 million gets you an average player. Right? Just get a Bosman player. Everyone's desperate.
That's a really interesting point, isn't it? I mean, Joel Matip springs to mind all those years ago.
Absolutely.
On a free. Jonathan Tah is the one that just comes to mind at Leverkusen, German first choice international, who almost joined Bayern last summer. He's on a free this summer, and you just said the nail on the head. Everyone wants to join Liverpool. So somebody like that would come in and sit perfectly, wouldn't it?
Use and abuse your badge. Everybody wants to play in that red shirt at the moment. They're the best. I don't care. They're not going to win the Champions League, obviously, this year, but they're probably the best team in Europe. They're probably the best team in the world at the moment. And okay, they're only going to have the Premier League to show for it. But this team is a winning machine at the moment, and everybody wants to join. So there are one or two players that you need to spend money on, but there are a lot of players out there that would walk to Liverpool to be in that squad. Utilise that. Have those types of players as your backup, or bring them through the academy, like they have done with, the Curtis Jones. Squad players like Curtis Jones, like, obviously Connor, Bradley is probably going to be in their first 11 now, but Trent before that. So they'll always have that coming through the ranks.
And it's easier to bring those players into a winning, experienced team, isn't it?
It is. And the other thing is, with the current rules, you can't just go and buy, let's 60 on it, 100 million on it, 100 million on another one. You can't just go and do that. You need a little bit of wiggle room. So I think they will prioritise, personally, an attacker and a left-back, and they will spend money on those two positions. But I think the other positions, I think they will go for cheap options as cover. I don't think they need to do anything else.
Yeah. And the point you made right at the start of the show, they're not 1 point ahead of Arsenal. They're 15 here with this group of players. So there's an awful lot of ground for the others to make up here, Glenn.
It was a special, different season.
No, you don't think they're 15 points better?
For City. To lose that amount of games, City would have been up there, in my opinion. But for whatever reasons, we don't know.
But their squad's going to take some surgery this summer.
Well, that's another thing. Yeah, that's their problem. They've got a real big problem in the summer. Yeah, there's going to be some deficiencies there, and they need to go their squad again. And Arsenal need to go again. And I'm just saying, from Liverpool's point of view, they've got a fantastic squad now, and you're right, Michael's right. I've said the same as well. They only probably need 2 players. But if they want to go and dictate like Man City did for the next... I don't see Liverpool... With that squad there, put my head out on the chopping block here, I can't see them winning the Premier League next
season?
No.
Whoa.
No.
Why?
No, I don't.
I can't...
Why?
Because I don't
can
think
catch them?
Players will go again. That squad... I'm talking about that squad now.
15 points clear.
If it's the same squad as that there, I don't see yet your Joneses and your Elliots ready to take over when they're going to have to play big roles next year. They might get some injuries. They had some injuries, but they coped with the injuries because they weren't in one unit, and it wasn't really the spine of the team. Now, if you get that there at Liverpool, then that would be deficient for them. I don't see them having that sort of season again. They will have to deal... Every squad has to deal with injuries, but when you get them in the same unit, all at the back or all in midfield, or your striker or Salah was going out and he was only playing half a season, then I think Liverpool will have a problem.
They've still missed Alisson for long parts. Trent, Jota,
yeah, but
Diaz was out injured.
Has Trent really been the spine of the team? No. Fantastic player, as we analysed him before the game. Wouldn't call him in the spine because he's left out at certain games. No, I think Van Dijk, the goalkeeper, and Salah. McAllister's been brilliant. Now McAllister's got to go again. If he was to get injured, I think they still need better players in that squad. And now's the time to go and get them. That's what I'm saying. To dominate, to go and play the next 4 or 5 seasons and say, we are the team now that everyone's got to beat. I don't look at that squad and go, wow.
Michael, if they don't add anyone, does this squad win the Premier League next season?
I can't see anybody catching them at the moment. But I just think you've got to... Gaffer's been a manager, he knows much better than me, but...
Not really.
I just think as well that it's such a good harmonious dressing room. If you go and bring, more and more and more in, and then you get discontent, and the better players as backup, the more problems you have. And you've got to soften that with, okay, you look at an extreme like Pep Guardiola this year, you think, oh, that's why he should have more players. But he's had thin squads all his life, really. That bit him on the backside this year. But in general, look at Chelsea, too many players is a problem as well. So I think you've got to be careful on the balance of your squad. Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott are never going to be the starters. They just come in occasionally. I think they're good squad players. It's an interesting balance. it is an interesting balance. I think Liverpool have got it absolutely spot on at the moment, and I wouldn't want to change it too much, apart from, as I say, the two positions. But we'll see what happens. But I can't see anybody beating Liverpool next year. Man City are miles off it. Arsenal possibly the only challengers for me.
I think where they've done brilliant this year, Liverpool, is against the teams, the improving teams, all them teams that we're seeing an improvement in your Brentfords, your Bournemouths, your Brighton. They've been brilliant against them. They've actually just wiped them aside where the other teams couldn't do it, like City did. But I think if they're going to compete again for the Premier League and go for the Champions League as well, and that's what great sides do. They're competing at the very top level, and then a squad like this to go with the FA Cup and whatever, that's where they should be aiming for me. But we'll wait and see. But I don't see them winning again next year.
Fascinating debate. Just for the record, for the Tottenham fans, how much do you want for Van der Ven?
He's staying. Hypothetical.
Brilliant. Brilliant debate, as always, gentlemen. Michael, Ben, thank you very much indeed, as always. Lots of time to debate that. Liverpool, we know, as champions. What we do know is that Chelsea and Newcastle are also in those Champions League spots at the end of today. Hope you enjoyed that from the three of us. We'll see you.